have, but are there any theory that sort of covers the same predictions that might succeed it, that you could measure all the variables together? Because if you could really measure all the variables together, then you would get this contradiction. Because, I mean, and of course, the fact that you can't measure all the variables together is, in quantum mechanics, arises from incompatibility, and that gives rise to the uncertainty relations that holds between incompatible measurements. So yes, it is connected in exactly that way. And incidentally, the working out what exactly the sort of right general story about incompatibility is, which I've personally been involved in, seems to be a very hot and controversial topic at the moment. So I mean, but yes, it is related. I guess.
One of the buzzwords I didn't see on your paper titles was reasoning. So what are your thoughts here?
I try to avoid buzzwords, probably not very successfully.
But, would you recommend any particular logic formalism for reasoning?
Oh, I see. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, see, what we were using here was just the sort of plain, vanilla, actually classical logic. But just because we're dealing with small, sort of situations where, because in a classical context with variables we're observing, so I think it's not even contentious. But the issue of what would be, so I think what has traditionally been called quantum logic is not very useful to the things that we've been discussing about, at least that I've found. Actually, so one of my colleagues, Kohei Shida, has been looking at a logic that might fit this sort of contextual thing. So, so he has this nice. There's this thing called the inchworm, apparently, which sort of has lots of legs and gathers itself up. Anyway, I can't. Anyway, so the idea is to have a system where you have you parameterize your deduction by the context of the variables you're in, and then which variables you can reason about together is constrained by, in the same way that we've seen here. And then the point is that this will prevent you deriving these contradictions, because you won't be able to apply the cut rule in cases that would involve combining variables that can't be combined together. So I think that's an interesting perspective. I don't know how useful it would be in this setting, I'm not sure. I mean, you could also say that there's, I mean, implicitly here, I haven't really sort of emphasized this side, but there's a lot of kind of sheaf structure going on, so you could imagine it being related to intuitionistic logic and so forth. But really, at this level, we haven't really been concerned with formal logical systems. I mean, in terms of, I mean, there's lots of interesting things to compute. But I mean, like these cohomology, well, I haven't really talked about it, but the cohomology invariants, but then they're not in the world of logic. But yeah, I mean, it could be, I think, as I say, this kind of contextual deduction could be an interesting way of looking at it.
Okay, shall we thank Samson again? Thanks.